The boarding skirmish was over. On the pirate bridge, a human was shoved to his knees, bleeding from a scalp wound, but grinning.
Kneel. Human. You are our trophy now. Proof we walked over your world. Don't get comfortable.
Nice craftsmanship on the collar. You don't see that level of detail every day. Does it come in gold?
Lock it in the trophy cage. Let the crew see what happens to those who resist us.
A trophy who's funnier than half this crew. He'll break within a week.
Brian was dragged down the corridor, past exposed pipes and steam vents. He wasn't struggling, he was cataloging every spare panel and tool locker.
They think this is humiliation. They don't know a trophy can watch, learn, and remember every weakness. He's not screaming, not begging. That's unusual. Keep the cage locked double tight tonight.
The trophy cage stood on the bridge, a glass box meant to display conquest. Brian leaned against the transparent wall, still bleeding, still watching.
That human isn't like the others. Watch him. Zex, I want to know. What's going on inside that skull?
3 cycles in. The gunner racks stood guard. Brian sat in the cage, the collar a cold weight, but his eyes were steady.
Still, acting tough, mammal. Most captives learn to whimper by now. You are behind schedule.
I like to keep a schedule. What's your name? I'll put a face to the gun.
Rax, it's Rax. Don't think it'll make me go easy.
Rax, good name. That trigger squeeze is professional. I bet you rarely miss.
I never miss, and I am not here to flatter you. Trophy, quiet.
The old insectoid, Krell, navigator, right? How long has he been charting stars here?
Stop. How do you know, Krell? You've been locked up. Cease the questions or I'll inform the captain.
Before Rax could, Donna's command thundered. All hands, no communication with the prisoner. He is not to be engaged.
Engaged? They already are. Names today, trust tomorrow, patience.
The guards marched Brian through the lower corridors. His eyes didn't flinch from the machinery. They inventoried every bolt and conduit.
Hey, that access panel, the latch is stripped. It'll blow and fry your starboard relays in a day.
A guard shoved him hard, but Brian kept his footing and reached in. 2 wire twists and the panel clicked secure.
From the engine room hatch, Zix watched silently. That human just did my job in 3 seconds.
That night, Zix crept back to the same corridor. He ran a scanner over the panel, no faults.
He didn't just push it back, he spliced the secondary lead. That's shipwright level. I should report this. But if she learns he's more useful as a prisoner. In the dark of his cell, Brian let a small smile form. They saw. Now they can't unsee it.
All crew. The trophy is to remain double-chained. No deviations. Compliance will be enforced.
But in the engine room, Zykes stared at the panel readings and could not unsee the human's handiwork. 2 guards escorted Brian to the mess hall. Chains clinking, the crew ate in silence, their eyes fixed on the trophy.
You know what day it is, according to the old navigator's birth cycle charts? Happy life rotation, Krell.
How? How could you know that? I never told the crew.
He counts cycles. Chirp, that's adorable.
I made this from a scrap of polished hull plating. Not much, but it caught the light like your navigation charts.
A trophy that gives gifts? This is getting weird.
No captive has ever remembered me. This stone will sit beside my star charts.
The mess hall, so long a place of cold rations, held its breath. Tessa's giggles were the only sound.
Enough. The prisoner's meal is over. Take him back.
As the guards locked his chains again, Brian's eyes met Donna's. She looked away first, something she never did. Without warning, the pirate ship plunged into the Shulton debris field. Alarms screamed as micro-asteroids battered the hull.
Full reverse thrust. All batteries. Fire at the largest fragments. If we lose an engine, we're dead in this swarm.
Engine 3 just lost compression. The core is spiking. I can't maintain the containment grid alone.
In his dark cell, Brian twisted 2 wires together. The intercom circuit he'd mapped since his first night crackled to life.
Zix, bypass the overload relay on the aft manifold. Cross-connect to the coolant loop, or that core will breach in 60 seconds. How are you on my channel? If this is a trick, I'll space you myself, but I don't have a choice. Cage releasing now.
The trophy cage eye-rised open. Brian sprinted through smoke-filled corridors, chains clattering to the engine room.
Hold that bypass lever on my mark. Shunt power to the secondary grid. Don't touch anything else. Ready? Now.
Brian threw the shunt. The core's howl dropped to a steady hum. The ship stopped shaking.
The human is useful. He will work in engineering, under guard. Any deviation, and he goes back in the cage.
Brian claimed an engine room corner, but off shift he found the galley. Guards let him cook. Curiosity outweighed caution.
Nothing builds trust like a hot meal. These pirates haven't had home-cooked food in cycles.
What's that smell? Warm and spicy. Is the trophy permitted to use the galley?
I'm allowed to not starve. Try this stew, Tessa, my grandma's recipe.
You made this from ship rations. Chirp. It's sorcery.
The deck reeks like a port market. This better not be poisoning. Human. If I wanted you dead, the fuel lines I fixed would have blown. Stew's safer.
Clicking softly. This spice, it echoes my homeworld. How did you know?
I listen. You said you liked sweetness with heat. I remembered.
The mess hall. Once a cold canteen, filled with something like warmth. Donna watched from the doorway, her face unreadable. At Veller's Reach spaceport, the crews scattered for supplies. Rax ignored Zix's warning and slipped toward a neon-lit bar, dead heavy.
Krennic, I told you. The credits are coming, but if you want to try and take it, I am not going down easy.
The shout carried to the supply depot. Brian dropped his cargo. "That's Rax," he muttered, and sprinted toward the alley. In the alley, Rax was already on the ground. The creditor's boot was raised. Brian didn't slow. He threw himself between them. The first blow split Brian's cheek. He held his ground, blood running. The creditor's hesitation gave Rax a chance.
He's with me. You don't touch my crew, or the next hit comes back with interest.
Rax stared, breath ragged. Why? Why would you? You are a prisoner. I am just a gunner.
Brian knelt, wiping blood. You are crew, Rax. That means family. And I don't let family construmpeth. Zix and Tessa rounded the corner. He stared at the blood. Insane human. You could have been killed for a pirate.
Tessa's feathers pressed flat with worry. The word family hung between them, irreversible. Brian's collar was still locked, but he'd never looked less like a trophy. Bounty hunters breached the airlock without warning. Rax didn't see the shot. His scales bloomed red as he fell.
Rax's whisper. Tell Brian, the collar was never real. He made me feel like a brother.
Brian skidded to his knees, gathering Rax's head onto his lap. You hold on, Rax. You are not leaving this crew.
But Rax's eyes were already still. Brian threw his head back and howled, a raw human sound that stopped every pirate's heart.
Zix rounded the corner, talons scraping. Not him. Rax was the youngest. He was meant to grow old.
Tessa's feathers pressed flat. He's past my needles, Zix. Brian, let us take him.
They lifted Rax onto a stretcher. Brian's hands shook, but he released the body and let them lead the procession.
Donna stood on the bridge landing, frozen. The human's cry clawed at her chest. She turned before anyone saw her eyes glisten.
Tessa whispered as they walked. I've patched 100 wounds, but that human's grief. It's different. It's family grief.
In his cell, Brian cried until his collar felt like a brand. But in the dark, he promised Rax's memory he'd finish what they started. Rax's atoms drifted into the void. The crew stood silent. Then the ship jumped to a quiet supply dock. At Jeck's station, the crew fanned out. Brian was left alone near a comms terminal, an oversight no one would repeat.
He stared at the Earth frequency. All he had to do was touch the key. He imagined the rescue and the empty mess hall.
His fingers hovered. The homeworld coordinates glowed. The docking ring's silence pressed in.
He closed the screen. Not today, he thought. I'm not done cooking for them yet.
Tessa's chirped from the doorway. You didn't send it. Why?
He looked up. I was never trying to escape. I've been building a home.
Her feathers flattened. She understood he had chosen them.
That night, Tessa told Captain Donna. He had the chance to leave. He didn't. He's building a home.
Donna turned toward the viewport. The stars are blurring tonight. For the first time, the collar didn't seem like a trophy.
Brian stood in the galley, finally chopping Rax's favorite spice bark. The scent was Rax, the laughter, the debts, the loyalty.
Rax would have stolen the first bite. He'd say, "Not bad for a trophy. I'll make sure every bite tastes like a stolen bite."
He set the long table. 5 bowls, 1 empty. A candle from Tessa's medkit flickered at the missing spot.
Zix entered first, tail low. He'd have mocked the candle, but he'd have liked the spice. I smell the red nebula bark.
Krell clicked softly. Rax once charted a hyperspace lane using only a bar napkin. It was wrong, but it led to treasure.
Tessa's feathers ruffled. He gave me a stolen flower once. Said it matched my crest. It was a weed, but I dried it.
Captain Donna's shadow fell over the doorway. Everyone stilled. She walked to the empty seat, lifted the bowl, and filled it.
Donna's voice was low. This is a good meal, human. Rax would have asked for seconds. He was a good gunner.
Brian raised his cup to Rax, who never let the collar define who sat at this table. He was the first to call me by name.
They drank. The empty bowl stayed full, and in that warm amber light, the mess hall felt less like a canteen and more like a home. At Venturi Reach, a replacement gunner came aboard, a scarred, hulking species with small eyes that locked on Brian immediately. He shouldered past and barked, "Out of the way, pet. The captain's trophy doesn't block my path."
Brian didn't move. "I am not your pet. Ask anyone on this ship." Zex's talons closed around the new gunner's collar. "You don't talk to him. He saved our engines. You are still wet."
The new gunner shoved Zix back. Tessa's feathers bristled. Krell's clicking grew sharp.
Tessa stepped between them. He's not a pet. He's ours. Touch him again, and you'll be in the med bay with a beak-shaped bruise.
Brian held up a hand. "Stand down. He's just ignorant. Ignorance can be taught if he's willing." Zix lowered his fist but snarled, "In the brig. Now you'll cool off until the captain decides your worth."
The corridor echoed with the newbie's protests as he was dragged away. Krell's mandibles clicked once, the only sound after. From that cycle on, no outsider dared call Brian a pet. The crew had chosen sides, and the trophy had become untouchable. That night, Captain Donna called Brian to her private quarters. The door sealed tight, and the engine's hum faded.
You had a clear chance at Jex. A comms terminal, no guards. Why are you still here?
I told Tessa the truth. I was never trying to escape. From the first cell, I was building a home.
A pirate ship is not a home. It's a tool for profit. People are cargo or crew.
A ship is made of people, Captain. Those people need each other. They needed someone to remember their birthdays.
And what do you get out of it? Nobody does this without a price.
I get a family. That's worth more than a rescue, more than a ticket home.
Donna's jaw worked. She had no response. After a long silence, she dismissed him, but her claws dented the chair's metal.
Later, in the med bay, Tessa chirped softly. You spoke with him. Did you hear the truth in his voice?
Donna leaned on the frame. I heard a human who's more pirate than most. I don't know what to do with that.
The ship's proximity alarm shrieked. Krell's navigation board lit up. An Earth stealth drone had matched Brian's biosignature on the main viewer. The icy blue emblem of Earth forces materialized. A cold voice cut through. "Pirate vessel, you hold a human captive. Surrender him or be eliminated."
All hands silent. Krell, confirm that drone. Is it transmitting a full lockdown?
It's a bio-tracker. It has Brian's DNA sequence from the raid. Earth forces are surrounding us. They'll destroy us if we run.
We can't hand him over. He's not a prisoner. He's...
Maybe if I talk to them, I can explain.
Number. They'll see a hostage under duress. You are staying.
The Earth commander's image hardened. "You have one standard hour. Any attempt to jump to hyperspace will be met with immediate fire."
Plot an erratic course through the debris field. Keep them guessing. Zix, how long until engine readiness for emergency FTL?
The ship plunged into the asteroid field, Earth vessels in pursuit. The family Brian had built was being squeezed, and every choice led to loss. The ship shook as asteroid debris buffeted the hull. Brian grabbed the comms console, collar still locked.
"Captain, let me open a channel. They'll listen to me. If we keep running, everyone dies."
They'll think you are coerced. Your words will mean nothing to Earth.
"My words will mean everything if they see me standing free. Open the channel. Donna, trust me."
Reluctantly, Donna nodded. Krell routed the channel. The Earth commander's stern face filled the screen. The Earth commander's transmission cut through. "This is Commander Reyes, pirate vessel. You are ordered to release the human captive immediately. Any deception will be met with force."
"Commander, this is Brian. I am not a captive. These people are my family. I am speaking freely."
The commander's eyes narrowed. "You are wearing a collar. You expect me to believe that?"
The collar is a bad memory. But these pirates would die for me. I am asking for time to negotiate for their amnesty.
A long silence stretched. The Earth commander's gaze flicked between Brian and the pirate crew clustered behind him. Commander Reyes hardened. "Acknowledged. We are sending a boarding party. Do not resist. Pirate vessel, surrender the human now, and your ship may be spared. Any resistance will be lethal."
Brian stepped forward, hands open. "Commander, grant these pirates full amnesty and I'll come back alone. No bloodshed." Zix's talons scraped the deck. "You are not going anywhere, Brian. We didn't fight for you just to lose you again."
Tessa's feathers flattened. We stay together. That's what family does.
The commander's brow furrowed. "You are protecting a prisoner? This makes no sense."
Brian shook his head. "I told you, they're my family. I'll only leave if they're safe. That's the deal."
Commander Reyes was silent, then nodded slowly. "We'll hold position and consider. Do not attempt escape." The comm channel stayed open, a silent blade. On the bridge, no one moved. The collar on Brian's neck had never felt heavier. The standoff was absolute. Brian would not abandon them, and they would not lose him. The next move belonged to Earth. Captain Donna shoved past Zix and Tessa, stepping between Brian and the view screen.
Commander, the human you are hunting, he's not a trophy, not a prisoner. He is our family. If you take him from us, you will be tearing out the heart of this crew. You will kill us all. He fixed our engines. He cooks our meals. He mourned our dead. He chose us. We will not give him up.
The bridge fell silent. Even the hiss of life support seemed to pause. Commander Reyes's jaw tightened. Decades of doctrine cracked before her. The commander's voice was small. You are serious. A pirate crew claiming a human as family.
As serious as the stars, Commander. He's not going anywhere.
Brian stood frozen. The collar still locked, but he had never been less of a trophy, never more of a family. The silence from Earth stretched, filled with disbelief and the first crack in a lifetime of assumptions. Brian stepped forward again, hands raised. Commander, let's make a deal.
Full surrender of the stolen cargo in our hold. Complete manifest of pirate lords and their bases. In exchange, amnesty for this crew, and I'll stay as a liaison, a privateer captain's advisor. You need someone who knows the underworld.
The commander's eyes narrowed, but the edge softened. The offer was unprecedented. Commander Reyes, you are asking me to trust a pirate crew and a human who wears a collar.
I am asking you to trust a family that proved it can change. We'll cease all illegal operations. Let us hunt pirates for Earth.
A long pause. The view screen flickered as Reyes consulted with unseen command. Your proposal is noted. I will relay to Earth's Central Command. Stand down all weapons and await response.
We'll wait, but my crew stays armed until we see your word in writing.
The channel remained open, the terms hanging in the balance. The collar on Brian's neck felt less a chain and more a treaty. The view screen flickered, and a priority hail came through. Earth Central Command had reached a decision. Commander Reyes, proposal accepted. Amnesty granted. You are hereby authorized as privateers under Earth Charter. The hunt is yours. A holographic treaty shimmered to life on the console. 2 markers blinked, one for Brian, one for Donna. Brian's thumb and Donna's claw pressed down together. The treaty shimmered gold, then hardened into permanent law. The screen went dark. For a heartbeat, there was only the hum of the ship and the sound of something breaking.
Donna's voice fractured. We didn't lose him. We didn't lose our family.
The tears came, first on Donna's scales, decades of hardness melting into a river. Brian pulled her into an embrace, her spines digging into his coveralls. She shook against him.
You never had to worry, he whispered. From the first cell, I was building a home. You gave me one.
Around them, Zix, Tessa, and Krell stood with glistening eyes. The pirate ship had become a home. Donna stepped back, wiping her eyes with the back of a claw. Then she reached for the collar's clasp.
It's time this came off. Tessa, you have the solvent?
The solvent hissed, and the catch released. The collar fell into Donna's palm, heavy and done.
I almost forgot what my neck felt like without it. Thank you, Captain. About time, now for the real trophy. He handed Brian a crew patch with family stitched over old text.
Chirp, let me fix your paint. You've earned our stripes. She brushed white and black across his jaw.
The mess hall lights glowed amber as they crowded in. Someone had set a mug in Rax's empty spot.
He raised his mug. To Rax, who first called me by name. To family, wherever we fly.
They clinked cups and the room burst into laughter. Brian, mid-chuckle, gestured wildly. The trophy had become the heart of the crew. The ship hummed on, and for the first time, no one knew where the pirate ended and the home began. The celebration mugs were stacked in the galley sink when Brian found Donna at the great viewport, alone with the stars. She didn't turn, but her scales caught the light. You were the best trophy we ever took, she said, low and certain.
And you were the best family I never expected. You gave me a collar and then gave me a home.
They stood shoulder to shoulder. The collar was just a piece of metal now, discarded in a locker with the rest of their past.
He'd say this is the part where we plot our next capture. But I think we'll hunt the hunters for a while.
Fine by me, as long as we do it together.
Beyond the glass, a nebula bloomed rose and gold like a promise. The ship adjusted course, and for the first time, the destination didn't matter. Brian's neck was bare, the skull paint fresh. He was no longer a trophy, no longer a prisoner, just a man who had built a family. Donna's hand rested on the rail next to his, scales catching blue light. Neither moved, but the space between them was filled. The pirate ship sailed into the nebula, and the stars blurred together, the way a family does. In the mess hall, a new emblem had been painted on the main bulkhead, the old pirate skull, now woven with a human silhouette among alien shapes. It replaced the scarred metal, where the crew's old mark had been scratched out, a symbol of their new charter. The amber light caught the edges, making it seem alive, as if it breathed with the ship. Below it, Rax's collar rested on a shelf, a trophy no longer, just a memory of how far they'd come. The empty chair remained, but the crew had filled the space with laughter and loyalty. The emblem watched over the mess hall, a silent promise that no one would be left behind again. No more prisoners, no more trophies, only family, forged in the black between stars. The skull and the human facing outward together, a crew united under a new flag. The nose of the ship pushed deeper into the nebula, the emblem on its hull a beacon for whatever came next. We kept a human as a trophy. By winter, the whole crew called him family. The ship cut through the nebula's edge, hull catching gold and rose light. Its engines left a brief trail of light, a signature already fading in the vast. Behind, the stars they'd crossed were now a distant map of where they'd been. Ahead, uncharted currents shaped the dust into towers of color and silence. Brian's laughter echoed faintly through the corridors, a sound that belonged now. Donna's hand rested on the helm, finally at ease with the course ahead. The crew's new emblem glinted on the hull, a promise to the void. They were no longer pirates of prey, but hunters of justice, a family. The ship faded into the brilliance, becoming a speck, then a memory. The nebula swallowed it whole, and the stars held their breath. Fade to black.